Hello, and welcome everybody to another episode of the Capital Gains Tax Solutions podcast, where we believe most high net worth individuals and those who help them, they struggle with clarifying their capital gains tax deferral options. Not having a clear plan is the enemy, and using a proven tax deferral strategy such as the deferred sales trust is an amazing way for you to exit highly appreciated assets, defer capital gains taxes, save a failed 1031 exchange so you can create and preserve more wealth and time the real estate market. Hey, my name is Brett Swartz, and each and every episode I'm joined by some of the best real estate, financial, wealth, and business minds in the world, where they share their ideas, deal stories, and inspiration. So together we can make complex tax deferral strategies simple and passive income plans achievable. Hey, I'm so excited about our next guest. He's out of the great state of New York. He's over 25 plus years of experience delivering impactful real estate investment advisory services. He's a broker, investor, author, and speaker, and he's launched 2 real estate funds with a total capitalization of over $350 million. He's also a Wall Street Journal best-selling author of The Insider's Edge to Real Estate Investing. Please welcome to the show with me, James Nelson. James, how are you doing?
Everything's great, Brett. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for everything you do for the community. A lot of being a podcast host myself, have a lot of respect for someone who's been at it as long as you have. I think, almost 500 episodes and counting. So I know an incredible amount of discipline and hard work goes into that, and just incredible value that you're delivering. So happy to be here with you.
Thank you so much, James. And for our listeners getting to know you for the first time, would you give us a little bit more about your story and your current focus?
Sure. So as you mentioned, I'm 25 years in the business. Currently, I head up tri-state investment sales here for Avison Young. Started right out of college. Didn't even know real estate was a thing. I was an English major. All my friends had investment banking jobs. I figured I needed a real job. So I went to the Career Service Center, and there was a posting to be a sales associate for a commercial real estate brokerage firm in New York, founded by one of the alums. And I took a flyer on it, literally went, had a great gut feeling about the place. And 17 years later, was still with them. They had made me a partner. At the time we sold to Cushman & Wakefield, we were doing 4 times the amount of sales as the next brokerage firm in New York City, which, I mean, you can imagine in a market this competitive, how challenging it was to do that, but also because we had a great platform. Had 3 great years at Cushman, and then a little over 6 years ago was given the opportunity to build out the investment sales team here in New York for Avison Young. So we handle the sale of multifamily, retail, office development sites. But my passion is really very similar to yours, is helping others achieve success in real estate investing. So as you mentioned, I wrote a book, The Insider's Edge to Real Estate Investing. That's also the name of my podcast. Also been a limited partner in multiple transactions, general partner, and as you mentioned, also founder of a real estate fund as well. So we'll have plenty to talk about.
Fantastic. And by the way, you can learn more about James Nelson by going to jamesnelson.com. That's jamesnelson.com. I love the background. I think we're going to have an amazing podcast episode talking about the insider's edge to real estate investing. And that being said, James, I do want to take one other step back, though, before we dive into some of the secrets here. And that's just with this, right? So I believe we've all been given certain gifts in this life, and these gifts have been given to us to be blessing and help to others. So I'm curious, what do you feel like the 1 or 2 gifts that you believe you were given, and how does that help you help and bless people today?
It's a great question. And I think maybe my optimism combined with hard work. I think the whole role of being a salesperson, look, you deal with a lot of rejection, but along the way, I always stay positive. So I'm a glass half full kind of person. I definitely got that from my parents, my mother in particular, who no matter what I was doing, still believes in me today. And so that's been an incredible thing. So and then I would just say, maybe this isn't as exciting, but just the consistency. Having done this for 25 years, it doesn't matter what's going on in the market. Now having been survived through 2 major downturns, so whether it was the great financial crisis, whether it was COVID, I just keep showing up. And I know a lot of your listeners are the same way, in that, they're here investing their time, doing the work. So consistency is, I think, a big piece to my success.
Excellent. And so let's dive right into the topic at hand with those 3 things in mind: optimism, hard work, and consistency with James Nelson. So James, what would you say is the number 1 secret to an insider's edge to real estate investing?
Well, I think it's all about having the knowledge, and the way you get that inside edge and gain the advantage is really studying the market, learning about opportunities that others don't know about. And that's why I love real estate investing over the stock market. In the stock market, everybody has the same information. It's public, right? And in fact, if you gain inside information, you can go to jail for that. Whereas in real estate, you're encouraged to find out more about opportunities. And what I learned very early on in my career is that there's a tremendous amount of inefficiencies in our business. So the fact that there's not a rule, obviously, that you have to sell your property on market, there's certainly not a public exchange for it. So the fact that there's thousands of properties that sell every year that don't even go to market, that are sold directly from owners who think they're getting a great deal, and yet they left a lot of money on the table. So I think if you can find those opportunities, my book talks about how to do that, and you have the right knowledge and game plan to execute on those opportunities, there's just tremendous potential here that I think is difficult to replicate in other asset classes.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, right? And that's the beauty of real estate. And it is so dynamic. Each block, I imagine even in New York with the density that it is, each block, each place it can be very, very dynamic, and a lot of information to be gathered in on any kind of multifamily or industrial or office or hotel. It's so dynamic. So studying the market is so important. And I call it finding gold nuggets of info opportunity. Finding golden nuggets of info opportunity, right? So you're out there finding out, but you're also maybe step number 2, which perhaps is starting to put those pieces together. So what is the second secret to gaining an advantage by having insider's edge to real estate investing?
Well, I think this is a business about the people. And I talk about this early on, that this is a business where you deal with specialists. And when you do, you really can gain the advantage. I mean, Brett, just listening and watching what you have done and how you're educating others on how to make exchanges and defer capital gains, you are a specialist, right? And so I think having the right team in place will help make you successful. So this is a business about the people, and it's a business about the specialization. So making sure you have the right team in place is vital for your success.
Excellent. And now in your career, James, and in helping others, like you said, one of your passions is to help others achieve real estate success in their dreams. What would you say is the number one way to build a team in this environment, which transactions have slowed down, B, technology is accelerating, AI is accelerating. What are the fundamentals that you're always looking for, regardless of the circumstances on the outside?
Well, Brett, I have to go back to what I was saying earlier, and I think consistency is still incredibly important, in that you continue to show up, and even, yes, sales volume here in New York, dollar volume is off by over 50% over last year. We're less than a third of the 10-year average, but that doesn't mean that it's going to stay this way forever. So there's a lot of brokers, there's a lot of investors who are just sitting on the sidelines, and they've actually taken themselves out of the market. And what I've found throughout my career is it doesn't matter what's going on out there. You continue to show up because you never know when things were going to turn. I mean, for example, in 2009, we had even a more drastic decline in sales activity, but kept showing up. At the time, we were making great inroads with a lot of the biggest banks out there. Sorry, am I back? Can you hear me now? Sorry, Brett, can you hear me okay? I'm sorry, Brett. It looks like we've lost audio connection here. I apologize. Hey, Irene. Irene.